Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers every day, Monday through Friday. Don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Gil Martin. Today we're going to discuss the top 5 things the Packers still need to do this offseason. And yeah, the Packers have signed 2 free agents in the first wave of free agency, but there's still a lot of things that Brian Gutekunst needs to address. At the top of the list right now at number 1, resolving the Jaire Alexander situation. Every report seems to indicate that the Packers are still looking to part ways with Jaire Alexander, that he's probably played his last game in a Packers uniform, but the Packers are also in no rush. They're not going to just release Alexander. They want to try to trade him and get something in return, including maybe some additional cap relief. But because he can be designated after June 1st cut, Gutekunst feels like he's in no rush. So he may wait until the draft or maybe even after the draft to see what team feels like they need a cornerback but missed out on one, and hopefully they'll be able to make a move. Now, the signing of Nate Hobbs as a free agent certainly is part of the plan for the Packers to address the cornerback position, and I would not be surprised if either on day 1 or day 2 of the draft, the Packers add a cornerback and maybe another cornerback even on day 3. But figuring out what Jaire Alexander's departure from Green Bay looks like is at the top of this list right now. Number 2 on the list, extend offensive tackle Zach Tom. Tom has graded out as the team's best starting offensive lineman in each of the last 2 seasons. He is eligible as of the start of the new league year, which happened last week, to sign an extension as he enters the final year of his entry-level rookie deal. And look, the former Wake Forest star, he's very smart. He's got great technique, both his handwork and his footwork, and that makes up for the fact that he doesn't have the ideal size that scouts prefer in an offensive lineman. But Tom is already a Pro Bowl caliber guy. Offensive linemen, there's not a lot of statistics, but so it takes a little longer for the reputation to catch up with the play. But to me, you got to re-sign Zach Tom. The sooner the better. The price of an extension is likely to only go up. So let's see. And remember, it's not just Zach Tom who is going to be an unrestricted free agent next year if the Packers don't re-sign him. Rasheed Walker, the starting left tackle, is also in that boat. Sean Ryan, up till now, the starting right guard, also an unrestricted free agent at the end of next year. So, to me, Tom is the number 1 priority among those 3 linemen, and that you want to sign him first, and then you figure out how much money you have and what you have to work with going forward for the other players and how they play next season. Number 3 on the list, add a pass rusher, and it's preferably a defensive end, an edge rusher. Still, no trade was worked out yet, although the Trey Hendrickson thing is still out there. But realistically, it may very well be through the draft. Jeff Hafley had to resort to blitzes and stunts a lot more than he wanted to. His defensive plan originally was to have the front 4 provide pressure on the quarterback. So you rush 4, you have 7 back in coverage, and then you disguise the coverages. Well, no defensive lineman had more than 7.5 sacks. That was Rashawn Gary. So the Packers looking to add a pass rusher. Would not surprise me at all if they go with a pass rushing defensive end in the first round, mainly because statistically speaking, if you wait until beyond the second round of the draft, the odds of you hitting on a edge rusher just go down dramatically. All the elite edge rushers are early draft picks. So let's see what Gutekunst does to address this particular issue. Number 4, add a receiver. and preferably a veteran, but it doesn't have to be. But the Packers need a go-to guy for Jordan Love, and Josh Jacobs basically during Super Bowl week called out the team, said, hey, we need a veteran number one guy. Well, we've seen Devontae Adams go elsewhere, DK Metcalf go elsewhere. The Packers still haven't added a receiver. We know they've got, 5 young guys coming back next year in Romeo Dobbs and Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed, Bo Melton and Malik Heath. Christian Watson, who is the closest the Packers have had to a number one when healthy, he's going to miss at least the first half of the season. And when he comes back, we don't know, when that'll be and how much he will have to offer the team at that point. So you got to address receiver, whether it's via trade, free agency, although there are not too many names left on the board, or in the draft. I would not be shocked if a first-round receiver is drafted for the first time since Javon Walker more than 2 decades ago. But a day 2 receiver, that has always been the Packers' sweet spot. Antonio Freeman, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, all second or third round picks. I would not be surprised if Goody addresses the wide receiver position there, but we'll see how he approaches it, trade, free agency, or the draft. And then number 5, defensive tackle remains a big need. TJ Slayton now gone. He left via free agency. We know Devontae Wyatt is entering the final year of his contract, and Kenny Clark may be gone after 2025 unless he's willing to renegotiate a very high cap number, and he's got to play better. I mean, I know he was dealing with an injury last year and played through it, much to his credit, but they need a bounce back season, and then they need to figure out how much longer he'll be a Packer. So defensive tackle, to me, a need. 5th on this list. Day 3 is always when the Packers tend to address it at the draft. It would not surprise me at all if they do that again this year with 1 or 2 defensive tackles, but it is a position they need to address. Don't forget to check out our website at thepackerspost.com, where we bring you articles about the Packers every day, Monday through Saturday. I'm Gil Martin. Thank you so much for watching the Daily Packers Post. Hit like, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Have a great day, everybody. And of course, go Pack Go.